if you really are the super ambitious type where you want to get into the best, you don't want to just get into banking, you want to get into the best banks, you want to get into the bulge bracket banks, you want to get into elite boutique banks, then it's not even just about whether you can get in or not, it's how quickly can you get in. So one of the most important things that a lot of people don't realize when it comes to investment banking recruiting is how important it is to be efficient. And a lot of people are always thinking about, well, can I get into investment banking or not? I think, yes, that's certainly the first question you should be asking, which is, can I get in or not? But if you really are the super ambitious type where, you want to get into the best, you don't want to just get into banking, you want to get into the best banks, you want to get into the bulge bracket banks, you want to get into elite boutique banks, then it's not even just about whether you can get in or not, it's how quickly can you get in? Like, how fast can you get your offer, right? The reason is the best banks, like the bulge bracket and the elite boutique banks, especially the elite boutique banks, they typically fill up first. They typically they typically start recruiting the earliest, and they typically fill up their classes the earliest, right? And so this table down here kind of gives you a good summary of that. So by your spring semester of sophomore year, the second half of your sophomore year is typically, in recent years, typically when we've seen elite boutiques start to recruit. And a lot of them are pretty much done recruiting before your sophomore summer even starts, okay? Some bulge bracket banks will also start during that semester, and then some of the other bulge bracket banks, like Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan and whatnot, they wait until the summer to recruit. But in general, what you'll find is the longer it takes you to get the offer, the further downstream you have to go, right? Like, so you go from elite boutiques, they finish first, to bulge brackets, then to middle markets, and then like if by the time the first half of your sophomore year is over, fall semester is over, and you're getting into the second half of your sophomore summer, you pretty much don't really have a chance at breaking into one of the top 50 banks anymore at that point. At that point, you're looking at some of the smaller, more local, regional boutique banks, which for a lot of people, they might still be okay with that, but there's also a lot of candidates that I know where they wouldn't want to work at a small regional boutique bank, because these are basically the type of banks that you've probably never heard of. And like, if you tell your friends, you tell your family, like, people aren't going to know what that is, right? And so not that that's the only thing that matters, but really what that affects is not just, the reputation or the prestige, but it's really the compensation, right? Like, elite boutiques tend to pay the most, then followed by the bulge brackets, then followed by the middle markets, right? And then followed by the regional boutiques. So obviously compensation is important, but also it's not just your compensation right out of school, but it actually also affects, more importantly, your exit opportunities in the long run, right? Like, for example, if you're someone that wants to get into, say, private equity or hedge funds or even venture capital, the top buy-side firms care a lot about where you did your banking, your 2 years of analyst program at, okay? Like, if you actually did your analyst program at an elite boutique or bulge bracket bank, you are going to get a lot of the bigger funds who actually want to hire you or are at least willing to interview you, right? If you work at a middle market bank, for example, you're not going to be eligible to recruit for a lot of these mega funds. So like, if we look at private equity, for example, even if you get into private equity after 2 years of banking, that's your third year out of school, right? The difference in pay at a mega fund and a middle market fund could be as wide as, $100,000 difference, like anywhere from $200,000 to $300,000 or $250,000 to $350,000, right? And so imagine having if you got into banking at a middle market bank, and your buddy who's only maybe a little bit better than you, or in your opinion not even that much better than you at all, but they were able to get into a bulge bracket or elite boutique bank, and because of that, by your third year out of school, your paths start to diverge, and they're making $300,000 to $350,000 a year, and you're making $200,000 to $250,000 a year. How would that make you feel? Probably not so great, right? And so that's why time is of the essence, and getting into investment banking alone should not be your only goal. It should be, how can I get in the shortest amount of time possible so that I can get into the best bank possible, so that I can set myself up, and the rest of my career I can improve my career trajectory by the greatest amount possible, right? And so if you're sick and tired of doing the trial and error, if you're sick and tired of wasting a bunch of time, and you understand that you just want to have a proven system where you can follow step-by-step instructions to get there in the shortest amount of time possible, then we have that. So reach out to our team and we're happy to help you out, okay? We'll talk to you soon. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're looking for more customized advice that's tailored for your specific situation, then I invite you to book a free strategy session with our team at the link below. We'll talk to you soon.